Hi, this is Jaya. In this video, we shall see about From Volga to Ganga by Rahul Sankrityayan. Rahul Sankrityayan, his original name is Kedarnath Pandey. He is a travelogue and a historian, and he was greatly influenced by Marxist ideas. And he was also influenced by Buddhism, and therefore he took the name Rahul. That is, Rahul is the name of Gautama Buddha's son. And this is a 1943 collection of his where he has written 20 historical fictions and all are short stories. And the stories trace the migration of Indo-Iranian people from the Eurasian steppes to regions around the Volga. And later on they spread to the Indo-Gangetic plain, which is in the Indian subcontinent. And the stories cover the lives of individuals who were living in different periods in history. That is, the book begins in 600 BC and the last story ends in 1942, the year when Mahatma Gandhi started the Quit India movement. And these Indo-European people who came to the Indian subcontinent were later known as the Aryans. And the 20 stories are woven over the span of nearly 8,000 years, and it talks about the people who lived in the land in a distance about 10,000 kilometers. The first story is named Nisha, and it is about the cavemen living in Caucasia, which is in southern Russia, and the period is 6000 BC. And at that time the society was a matriarchal society, that is women dominated society, and that is why the story is also named after the leader of the family, Nisha. From here we find a gradual transformation from that is women oriented society to men oriented society, that is a patriarchal one. The first two stories show how the women were the leaders in the society, and the remaining story shows how men started taking over and they becoming the leaders in the family. And also it shows how people started bringing in new armaments which were replacing the older stone equipments that we see in the fourth story, Purohit, which takes place in Tajikistan around 2500 BC. And the story tells how arms race was started during this period, that is in 2500 BC, and how the southerners amassed great wealth, and this they collected, they became very rich at the expense of the northerners. And the sixth story, Angira, takes place in Taxila, and the time period is 1800 BC. And Angira is about a man who wants to save the Aryan race, and he does not want the Aryans to lose its identity to other races, and therefore he teaches people about their true culture. And this man is said to be the precursor to Vedic rishis. And the eighth story, Pravahan, which happens in 700 BC in Panjala, that is in Uttar Pradesh, it tells about how the upper class manipulates religion for their own interest and how they conspire to keep people in the dark for at least 2000 years. And here we can find the influence of Buddhism in the stories like Bandal Mal, which happens in 490 BC, which is the ninth story, and also in Prabha. And the 10th story, Nagdat, tells that Indians, the Greeks, and the people in the Middle East were in good relationship with each other. They mingled easily with each other in the times of Chanakya and Alexander. And this story is about a philosopher, classmate of Chanakya. And this classmate of Chanakya travels to Persia and Greece, and he learns how Athens fell to Macedonia. And the 11th story, Prabha, which takes place in 50 AD, is about the famous and the first Indian dramatist Asvaghosha. And Asvaghosha adapted the Greek art of drama into Indian culture in a very beautiful and authentic way, and he brought in his own inspiration there. And the 15th story, Baba Nuruddin, which takes place in 1300, is about the rise of Sufism. And the 17th story, Rekha Bhagat, which takes place in 1800, is about the barbarous rule of the East India Company and how they started dominating and bringing under their own control parts of India. And the 18th story is Mangal Singh. Mangal Singh is the protagonist of this 18th story. He knows about Marx and Engels, and he's also amazed how Marx knows so much about India. And he tells all this to his beloved Annie. And he also says that science is very important to India, but Indians are not aware about the importance of science, and they always put faith above science. And he goes on to fight the British in the 1857 uprising with a strict code of conduct. And the last story is Summer. It takes place in 1942, and it is about a man who goes on to fight the Japanese. And the reason is he wants the Soviets to triumph, to win, because according to him, Soviet Russia is the only hope left for humanity. And here the 20 stories end. If you have anything more to add on to what I've said, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends. And if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe and support. Thank you.